This morning, the radar is fairly quiet. We do have a large cluster of thunderstorms off the coast of Jacksonville towards Daytona, and then a few more towards the Florida Panhandle. That's been pretty persistent here the last couple of days, but we're pretty dry. A couple of showers sitting offshore, and that's going to be about it. As we go through the afternoon, we will see a isolated chance. Lunchtime is pretty dry, but by 2 to 4 o'clock, we'll see a couple of showers possibly riding along the coastline, and then later on today, between 7 and 10, we might see a few more thunderstorms inland. Glades, Hendry County heading through the Everglades. Now, as far as those rainfall needs, we are 14.5 inches behind now in Fort Myers and 9 even there in Punta Gorda. The deficits continue to grow, and we'll get that update from the U.S. Drought Monitor tomorrow morning. As far as the winds early, very calm, very stagnant, and it is warm. We should be down around 75 in our mornings, but we're closer to 80 right now for Naples and Page Field. And as we roll through Punta Gorda there, 78, same thing for Marco Island. You see the temperatures this afternoon, we're going up to 95 degrees again, and you factor in the high humidity, and it's going to feel like 100 to 105. Some areas in Collier could get up to 106 to 107, and that reading of 95 would once again today tie a record going back to 1991, and you can see how high above our average of 90 we are as we continue this hot stretch of weather through the mid parts of September. Large cluster of thunderstorms off the northern shore here early, and otherwise it's just a scattering of showers today and tomorrow as well. But by the time we get towards Friday, we should see the atmosphere moisten up a little bit more to give us a little more widespread coverage, and that's a trend that's going to roll through the weekend. This morning, Hurricane Lee continues to turn north a little more, moving northwest at 6. This is a very large storm. You can see the size here as it's between Bermuda and Puerto Rico. You look at the size and scope here of Hurricane Lee compared to the state of Florida, and this one is going to continue to grow in size, and as far as strength, it's going to weaken. But even though the winds are supposed to come down 80 to 60 here before a potential landfall somewhere in Maine or the Canadian Maritime, it's that large wind field that's going to allow for some very rough surf and surge here for parts of the Northeast, and that's something we'll watch here in the days ahead. Margot is still a hurricane. This one is moving safely across the northern Atlantic there, and will continue to do so, doing a little twist there in the days ahead. Now, elsewhere in the tropics, we do have one other area we're watching coming off the coast of Africa here. National Hurricane Center has a 80% chance. Let's bring it back at home and talk more about the potential rain for the rest of the week into the weekend. We see by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday a 60, maybe even 70% chance of rain by the time we get towards early next week, and we finally get a little break from the heat going back to our average.